welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kim, and today I am going to show you how to make your own grape jelly. I have been making this for years. I do not buy grape jelly at the store anymore, and mostly it started with when I started reading ingredients, and the cheaper grape jelly does not have ingredients that I like. I try to avoid high fructose corn syrup as a sweetener in most of the products that I buy that I give my children and myself and my husband, but I was unhappy with the ingredients in the cheaper store-bought jellies, and the more expensive ones are just really expensive when you're trying to feed a family, and so I started making jelly myself. I used to can it, but I realized that we eat it before it goes bad anyway, so I just make a batch every once in a while as we need it. We don't always have grape jelly on hand, but it does stay pretty fresh in the refrigerator for at least a month. We've gone longer, but I don't know about the safety of it, so I won't recommend going longer than a month.
This grape jelly just has 3 ingredients. We have some 100% grape juice. We have some fruit pectin. I like the powdered pectin over the liquid pectin. It just works better for me, but everyone has their own preference, and some white sugar. You should use the best quality juice that you can find, since it is the base of your jelly. I like the ingredients on the back of this juice, and I don't have to make it from grapes. So here I am. I'm going to make it by the directions on the back of the container, which is the juice concentrate plus 3 containers of cool filtered water. I'm going to add those in, and then I am going to stir it up and make sure there are no chunks and that everything is good and dissolved. Here we go. That ends up making almost 7 cups. It's really hard to see, about 6.5. Sometimes I will add a little bit more water to make a full 7 cups in there for the ratio with the juice to sugar. Next up, we have a clean stock pot here. I'm going to add the juice, pour it in, and then I will put the pectin, the powdered pectin, in with the juice before I've turned the heat on. It's important that you don't heat the juice up before you add the pectin so that it dissolves properly without lumps. I'm going to turn the heat on now. And yeah, so I will give the full recipe in the description box, but this is how I've made it, and it turns out really well. So you're just going to mix it up, make sure there are no lumps. I use a whisk to help with the lumps, but later on I do use a wooden spoon. I just find that a whisk helps the lumps dissolve a lot easier than using a wooden spoon to start off with. So it's been a few minutes and it's starting to heat up. We have not added the sugar yet. What we want to do is, once the pectin is dissolved into the juice, we want to bring it to a rolling boil, which is a boil that cannot be stirred down, which is why you'll see me stop stirring every once in a while, just to see if there is any movement and to gauge the progress of the jelly. We still have a little bit to go, so I'm going to let it continue to cook and monitor it. First off, sorry for all of the steam in this shot here. It is at a full boil now that I can't stir down, and it is time to add the sugar. I am adding 6 cups of just regular white sugar into the mixture here, and I'm going to whisk it up to get the lumps out. Start with the whisk. It really is beneficial. So we're going to just mix it up here, and then we are going to continue to cook it until it comes back to a rolling boil, and we're going to boil it for a minute, and then it'll be time to jar it up. So do you see how thick it looks already? It's really fun to watch the changes in jelly as you make it. Now we just have to wait for this to come back to a boil, and it is not there. I'll be stirring it pretty frequently now that the sugar is in it, and I don't want it to get stuck to the bottom or the edges. So we're just going to continue to stir it and wait for it to start coming to a boil, and then watch it get nice and thick. Here it is starting to boil, and I am going to start a timer, and we are going to let it boil for 1 minute so that it can get nice and thick. You can notice some changes. There is starting to get to be some foam on top, and during the 1 minute boil, well, now you can't see it very well because of that steam, but during the 1 minute boil there will be more foam. And so when you're done here, you can just skim the foam right off the top. I definitely do skim some of it,
then
but if there's little bits left in it, honestly,
after I get
my husband has tried it and he says it tastes just like jelly. So it seems like it's more for
What's great
aesthetics.
about not canning it is you don't have to sterilize the jars. So you make sure you have clean jars. I've washed my jars in some hot soapy water, rinsed them, dried them, and they're ready to go. So that is really nice about not canning the jelly. So I have my canning funnel and 2 quart jars and a pint jar ready to be filled with jelly. I don't exactly know how much this batch is going to make, so we're going to see, but I don't think it's going to be more than the 2 quarts and the pint, but we'll see how many we get full. I fill the quart jars first, that way they can be more long-term in the fridge, and then the pint jar we will eat pretty much as soon as it gets cool. So here it is. They got all filled, 2 quarts and a pint jar. So I'm really excited to have this jelly done. It's going to sit with the lids and rims on the counter until it gets cool to room temperature, and then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator probably for overnight, and then tomorrow the kids can have some jelly. Here it is the next day, time for breakfast. The jelly got nice and thick as it cooled down, and everyone is very excited to have some peanut butter and jelly toast for breakfast. It's been a while since I've made some jelly, so it's definitely going to be a treat around here for a while. And that is how I make jelly. So I hope this has inspired you a little bit, maybe made it seem like it's not too difficult to do. It just takes a little bit of time and a little bit of knowledge? Not even that much knowledge, honestly. Jelly is really easy, and it's one of the first things that I ever started making when I was learning how to can, because it just seems like it's easy. It's a little more foolproof than other things. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and have a great day.